I'm using tilt controls.
I'm just $100 racing wheel, you little bitch. Hey, remember back when the Wii came out, they had these stupid little plastic peripherals, and the popular one was this wheel? They did absolutely nothing for the gameplay. It was purely aesthetic. I always preferred to either just use the Wiimote on its side or a Pro controller. Now they have something kind of similar to that for the Switch. Again, it does nothing for the gameplay. It's purely aesthetic. It's more for like kids to feel like they're driving, I guess. And then along comes HORI out of nowhere with this monstrosity. 2 years after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is out and 5 years after the original game, HORI has made a professional, quote, racing wheel for the Switch. One deluxe and one not so deluxe. These actually do change the gameplay experience significantly, even if they are a little ridiculous. Deja vu, I just been in this place before. This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN, and later I'll tell you all about how it really helped me out last week. There are 2 versions available. There's the deluxe one, which is $100, and it's relatively big. It also mounts itself to your desk or table rather securely. Otherwise, they both have relatively the same amount of buttons. The Pro version has larger paddle shifters and these ZL and ZR buttons, which probably aren't in the best place. It's easy to hit them by accident when things get heated. Luckily, accidentally hitting these buttons doesn't really affect the gameplay too much. Setup is very simple. It took me just about 4 minutes, which is great because I had to rush doing it before a live stream. You just have to slot these suction cups into their respective holes or screw the bottom clamp on nice and tight if your setup allows for it. I did both, which you should not do. You should do one or the other. And then plug in the foot pedal. The foot pedal connects to the wheel via a phone cable. When was the last time you've seen one of these? It stays on the desk pretty good. My monitor is on a bit of an angle, so that wasn't ideal, but it still works all the same. Also, when things get intense, my whole desk shakes. It's probably best suited for a coffee table. The foot pedal, on the other hand, is not very secure. It helps to have this little piece folded down so that one of your feet can hold it firmly in place. If you have carpet, this probably isn't a problem, but for me, every time I would move from the accelerator to the brake, I would end up pushing the pedals away. Maybe it needs some more pads to fold out behind it or to the sides of it to keep it in place more secure. Luckily, Mario Kart doesn't require you to take your foot off the gas too much. This thing is probably made for kids, even the deluxe version. I'm being rough with it because I'm a grown-ass man, and that's just what's gonna happen. It's putting up with my bigness pretty well, but you know, it's not gonna be perfect. I will say though, playing Mario Kart with this does feel pretty great. It also takes a little bit of getting used to. Ooh, who picked this one? You're banned. Harsh turns are way harder now that you have the full length of the wheel to travel if you want to turn, as opposed to just pressing the opposite direction on a thumbstick. So levels with a lot of tight turns will require a lot of arm travel back and forth. And probably some stuff falling off your desk. It would be nice if this was calibrated a little more sensitively or had some way to adjust the sensitivity so it registered a full turn more quickly, or at least had a slightly more tuned sensitivity curve. But it does feel really fun to control your kart with a big honkin' wheel. Throwing items and drifting with the paddle shifters feels very natural. If you want to throw an item behind you, you can just use the D-pad to hold down as you throw it. There were some moments where my kart would drift in the opposite direction that I was turning. This might be an effect of the wheel not registering a full turn easily, or maybe just some weird disconnect between the game and the wheel. I don't know, it's hard to tell who's to blame here, but it didn't happen that often. It's still a great feeling controller. If you play so much Mario Kart that you're bored of the game, this might shake things up just enough for you to make it more interesting. The smaller wheel, on the other hand, is significantly less fun to play. It feels way more like a toy. It's like one of those Fisher-Price wheels that you would put in the passenger seat of a car so that a kid feels like they're helping. The deluxe version is worth the extra $30 investment. The only thing the mini version does better is the suction cups on the bottom. They held onto my desk real well for some reason. The foot pedals still suffer from the same sliding problem. I'd say just get this one for young children. Anyone over the age of 10 would probably have a better time with the deluxe version. These controllers are marketed to work with Mario Kart, in case that big M on the front didn't give that away. There aren't very many racing games for the Switch, but these racing wheels can work for other games too. There's a switch on the top of the wheel that can change the D-pad to register as a left stick or a right stick if a particular game called for that. So naturally, I tried playing Smash Brothers, and that didn't go so well. It was impossible to register a full run with the wheel. I also tried Mario Maker, and that worked a little better, but was still not exactly fun or easy. Alright, fine, you probably want me to try this with other racing games. Since this is such a pro product, it would probably be better suited for more serious racing games. Asphalt is still pretty arcadey. Surprisingly, the steering wheel is too sensitive for this game. I had to lower the sensitivity all the way down, and I still couldn't steer right. Using the left paddle shifter for boost works pretty well, so the default controls work just fine. Drifting, however, is a bit of an issue. Like I said before, constantly taking your foot off the accelerator and moving it to the brake will cause the foot pedal to slide around all over the place. I'd much rather play this game with a controller than with this steering wheel. It's not really suited for a steering wheel. It's too cartoony for that. Which is weird to say considering we just talked about how great this is for Mario Kart. Gear Club Unlimited feels way better with the steering wheel, even if the game is a hot mess. It seems to be calibrated just fine. I just suck at it. The only issue is, again, the foot pedals sliding all over the place. Maybe it would have been nice to also have an option to put suction cups on the bottom of these pedals for hardwood floors. Or maybe just an option to remap the brake button to one of the paddle shifters. ZL and ZR are on the front of the wheel, but it's not easy to hold down on ZR while also doing hard turns. If you're a big fan of Gear Club and you have a carpeted floor, this might be a worthwhile investment for you. I'm already not that big of a fan of Mario Kart, so I definitely don't need a $100 peripheral for it. This product did intrigue me though. There's nothing else like it for the Switch. It certainly is fun to try out. I foresee it ending up in the closet with everybody else's Rock Band equipment and Tony Hawk ride boards. I think what I'm gonna do is leave these two wheels set up at the next social gathering. Casuals love Mario Kart, and I think that a lot of people would get a kick out of playing that game with these two ridiculous peripherals. It is fun, it's just completely unnecessary. But I guess that goes for a lot of things on this channel, doesn't it? Hey, it takes a special kind of weirdo to like Mario Kart this much. Hey, you want to hear how ExpressVPN saved me the other day? So let me tell you a little story. About a week ago, I had paid $30 for in-flight Wi-Fi. Little did I know that this airline, which shall remain nameless, had blocked all forms of video content from their network. So I did just about the only thing a man of my stature could do in that situation, and that was bitch about it on the internet. But then someone suggested using a VPN. Would you look at that? An actual good idea. VPNs serve a few different purposes. You could use one to increase your security if you're afraid of the vulnerability of public Wi-Fi or encrypted sites. Maybe the content you're trying to watch is restricted by the country you're in and you want to try to pretend like you're in another one. Or maybe you want to trick your airplane Wi-Fi into thinking you're not watching video content by creating a virtual tunnel. If you fall into any of those categories, you should check out ExpressVPN, and you can get 3 months for free right now if you use the link in the description, or you just go to expressvpn.com/wolfden. That's spelt all weird like that. And hey, thanks ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video, helping out when YouTube ad revenue ain't doing too hot, and making me feel like an elite hacker when all I really did was just push one button. So what do you guys think about this Mario Kart racing wheel? Is this something you would ever consider for yourself? Which one do you like more? And is there anything else you'd rather play Mario Kart with? Or is there a better use case for this ridiculous thing? Leave it in the comments below, add me on Twitter, any and all of this other social media garbage. Of course, we got new videos and live streams all the time. Our schedule's in the pin tweet over on Twitter, and we got Wolf Den Live every single Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube. This week is the last Wolf Den Live of the year, and we're gonna have some friends on to do it with us, so you should check that out. And of course, we got streams over on twitch.tv/wolfdown. If you support us here on YouTube or over on Twitch, you link that to your Discord account, you get into our hashtag supporter-only Discord, you get videos like this one early, you get private chat time with us, and you get to play multiplayer games with us once a month, like Mario Kart. But of course, the most important thing that you can do and the easiest thing to help support the channel is just subscribe. Otherwise, you might miss these videos and you're definitely not getting all of them. And make sure you share this video with a friend who you also like to play Mario Kart with. Maybe you can convince them to buy it. It's like owning a boat. You don't want to be the one who owns the boat. You want to be friends with the guy who owns the boat. You see what I'm... Okay, anyway, thank you guys very much. You have yourself a good week. I can't cover the camera.